All right, we're back. So, like I said, these three can kind of go together. I mean, there's definitely an order there, but you understand. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the types of housing there are. The next couple, the types and the styles, I'm going to tell you that sometimes I have a hard time, probably 50-50, have a hard time guessing. Because there are so many different with styles. Now, mainly what we're talking about is like single family residence. We're talking about condo, townhomes, villas, patio style, garden. That's actually patio type. I don't want to confuse that with the next word. So those are all types of homes. A single family residence or a single family dwelling is a type of housing. 90% of what you guys are going to do in the residential world is going to be a single family home. Single family home, as you remember, is one house on one lot. Condos are usually attached and share a wall, so there's probably 4 or 5 or 6 of them together. A townhome is one where it's more vertical and they are usually attached. All right, so townhomes typically look like apartments, but they're a townhome, so they're vertical. Usually 3 stories. You got a basement, first level, second level. The patio or the garden, or sometimes you hear this called the senior. Another term is a walk-up, because they are the flat one level and you park right there and you walk right in the front door. You see these a lot of styles, low maintenance. I don't know, that's maybe confuse that with condo. In the over 55 housing, you see those patio homes. All right. Now, if that's not bad enough, let's go into styles. Now, there is no test in this course, so you are not going to be required. But what I did is I took the opportunity to go out and search the internet and listen to this. Art Deco, Bungalow, Cape Cod, Colonial, Contemporary, Craftsman, Creole, Dutch Colonial, Federal, French, Provincial, Georgian, Gothic Revival, Greek Revival, International, Monterey, National, Neoclassical, Prairie, Pueblo, Queen Anne, Ranch Regency, Saltbox, Second Empire, Shed, Shingle, Shotgun, Spanish Eclectic, Split Level, Stick, Tudor Victorian. All right? Those are all styles of homes. All right? So you may have a single family home that could be a Art Deco style. That would be almost like Frank Lloyd Wright, to me, is Art Deco. So all of these styles, you can go out and search these if you want with pictures and see, colonial usually is the kind with the 4 big pillars on the front, 2-story. The front porch is 2-story. It's got the 4 big pillars. That's, a colonial style. What's the other one? Shotgun. Shotgun house is usually very linear. You walk in the front door, you've got the dining room is the middle room, then the kitchen, and then the bedroom's in the back. So the theory is you shoot a shotgun from the front door to the back door, and it won't hit anything. That's where you got the term shotgun. All kinds of other craftsmen. That's the old, believe it or not, came from, because Sears used to sell these kits. The old craftsman home, I would say if you go to some of the 1950s and 60s or 40s and 50s homes, Eagledale, those little homes like that, 1,200 square feet, 2-bedroom. So there's all kinds of those. Salt box, that's a very square home. There's no bump outs anywhere. It looks like a salt box from the old crackers. If you imagine very long, 2-story, nice and square. Okay? So you can get all into the styles, and I hear a lot of complaints about agents because all of these styles are possible. So what's going to happen is somebody's going to list a home and they're going to put Art Deco, and somebody's going to be looking for an Art Deco home, and they're going to see it, and they're going to look at it and go, that's colonial. That's not Art Deco. My client won't like that. That's not. So it's some of them, and that's really a bad example because you probably wouldn't ever confuse Art Deco with colonial. But let me see here. What would be two that might be contemporary and craftsman? You know, a ranch regency with a craftsman. So it gets really picky. All I can say is be nice to your fellow realtor because maybe they think it's one and not the other. All right. So what we've talked about so far is all the site, the building, the plans, the permitting, what style the house is. Is it going to build an Art Deco style? Are we going to build a colonial style? So it's going to be a single family residence, but it's still a colonial style house. Okay? So the type of house is single family resident. Style is going to be, let's say, colonial. So the blueprints have 2 floors, and there's electrical for both floors, there's plumbing for both floors, all of that, and we got a permit to build that 2-story certain square foot. So the next couple of things I want to talk about is thinking of the house like a body or a human body. The very first thing you have to have is the foundation. All right? The foundation and the footings to a house are equivalent to like what we would think of as our feet and legs to the human body. They anchor, the footing is what actually anchors the home to the ground and supports the foundation. All right? The foundation in turn carries the weight of the home. If there's basements, either it's finished or unfinished, crawl, slab, those are all kinds of, it's actually called, what's it called? Slab on grade. Grade meaning the level of the ground, so a slab basement, or yeah, I know, I'm sorry. Slab foundation, not a slab basement. That would be an oxymoron, kind of like I feel like I am right now. So you got slab on grade, you've got a crawl space, and then you've got a basement. All right, that could be part of the foundation. On those are the footings, which is where the house rests. Of course, you could have half basement, which is half basement and a crawl, so it's just a combination of those. Some of the older homes used to do that, where one end of the home may have a basement, the other end of the home may be on crawl space. I don't know the reasoning, maybe it was savings in cost, but it gave somebody a little bit feeling like they were a basement, okay? So that's the foundation. That's what actually gives you the base to set stuff on. All right, so let's go over here, see if we can do this. Upon the foundation, you've got the flooring. The flooring is like the next step in this structural ladder. Think of a house like a ladder, starting from the basement or the foundation up. Flooring is the next one. You've got the footing, the foundation, the floor, the walls, the ceiling, the roof. All right? That's kind of how I look at houses. You've got that ladder or structural ladder. The footing, the foundation, then come the floors, then the walls, the ceiling, and the roof. All right? Now, your flooring is usually going to be either a wood or a concrete slab. All right? If it's concrete slab. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to leave it that way. Obviously, you can put carpet on it. You can put floating hardwoods. You can put all kinds of laminate, all kinds of that stuff. But flooring in general is probably going to be a slab, even if it's on a basement. Or, if it's a slab on grade, that's your floor as well. Or you could have a wood floor, like if you've got a basement, you would then put wood floor over it, and then over that wood floor, you would finish it. You know, you would put some kind of luan, and then your carpet, okay? The next is called the building envelope. Think of the envelope like the element, you know how an envelope seals everything out of the inside and seals all the inside stuff from getting out, like the check you mail, you put it in an envelope, you seal the envelope. Well, that's what the framing, or a lot of times you hear it called the building envelope, actually is. It's nothing more than the outer shell that maintains the dry and the heat and the cold air and facilitates climate control. It's what keeps the cold out when you want it to be warm and you heat the inside, or it keeps the heat out and you cool the inside through air conditioning. That happens because you are in an envelope. It also does water and vapor control, air control. You don't want wind coming through your house. One of the things I'm always amazed at, and I guess I'm glad, knock on wood, and I praise God that I didn't live in Indiana in the 16 or 1700s like the Indians did, because it would be darn cold without the ability to keep out the cold or keep in the heat. You know, the old TP theory still seems to me it'd be cold, okay? I am glad for this word called air conditioning. Air conditioning I use as a generic term. I meant even if you heat the house, that's still what I would call conditioning the air. So the framing is built in envelope. Now, most residential framing is actual wood. And right now, I think a lot of builders are building 16 inches on center. What that means is every 16 inches, there is a vertical piece of wood to stabilize the building. Used to be, I think it was 12 inches on center. But as you can see, if you make them 16 inches on center, you actually use less 2x4s, so you spend less money. You can theoretically make more profit. Now, I have heard, and I don't know the code. I'm telling you that right out of the gate. If anybody knows the code, anybody? Dave, you know the code? No, I don't. Anybody listening, feel free to send it to me. Of course, it'll be too late for this recording. But I'm pretty sure it's 16 inches on center. Somebody had said that they thought one of the builders was building 20 inches on center. Well, at some point, remember the law of diminishing returns, at some point it's going to start getting weaker. So they can't get much further. 24 inches, I mean, you're talking 2 feet apart between braces or vertical bracing. I don't know. That just seems a little weird for me. But think about that. It is the bones or the structure of what support the roof. That's all the frame is. It is a shell or an envelope that allows you to keep out all the bad things, like for those of you that have allergies. I mean, you think about that. You got pollen and dust and smoke and cold air and warm air and wet air and windy air. So the building envelope is what seals the property.